Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everybody. I love you all. My name is miahtheking, and have you heard about the restaurant on the moon? Great food, but no atmosphere. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. I hope you stick around. If not for the funny jokes at the start of each video, then perhaps because I can help you figure out if you need a game in 10 minutes or less. Don't believe me? Then let me prove it. Now then, today we're taking a look at a game just released on Steam called Warside, a pixelated turn-based strategy game, and I'd love to tell you about the world and more about the game, but the game didn't tell me about the world and more about the game, so how could I tell you? Developed by Lavabird and published by First Break Games, released not in early access and selling for $27, which in my opinion is a very strange price tag. So what even is this game anyway? Well, you play as some random commander and go fight people, I guess. That's about it. But it's basically a pixelated turn-based strategy game and absolutely nothing else. So that's about it. But as always, let's go into the good and the bad, followed by my final thoughts, shall we? So up first, as always, is the positives, and the first positive point for me was the graphical quality. Now, I know it's just pixelated, but I actually enjoy pixelated graphics. Whenever I see them, they make me a little excited, because when you see such lower tier graphics, it saves a lot of space for you to add a lot of different content or creativity or innovation in terms of gameplay or mechanics. So when I see these simple graphics, I don't mind, because I know it's going to give a lot of content. Like if you look at Stardew Valley or Roots of Pacha as examples, you know, those are basic little games with simple little graphics, but look at all the content and innovation they give you. But anyway, despite them being pixelated, the game still looks great with good attention to detail, color choices, contrasts, and more. Overall, it was just pleasant to stare at. Next up for the positives is the sound design. Now, there's no voice acting. Let me just get that one out of the way. But the music is pretty decent for background noise, I suppose. And the sound effects sound the way you'd want them to in a game like this. Don't get me wrong, the sound quality isn't the best, but it's not bad either, which is why I wanted to mention it here in the positives. And last but not least for the positives is the stability. I think because there are some issues with the game that I'll mention later, and I'm not sure if they're stability related or if it's just gameplay design related. But for the most part, and from my opinion, the game was running really well overall. I mean, it never, bugged out on me. It was very smooth, very fast. It didn't break or crash or glitch at all, at least from what I could tell. It ran really well for the most part. Okay, so unfortunately, that's all I gotta say positively about the game. Next, we gotta go into the negatives, but before that, do me a favor, and if you're finding this video entertaining or informative, consider subscribing and liking the video. I'm trying really hard to get to 5,000 subs, and I'm getting really close, and so every single one of you who subscribe really matters and helps me out tremendously. Also, hit that notification bell to let you know whenever I put out new content so that you'll be informed and I can help you save some time and money, alright? Because I try to keep these videos short, trying to save you time, trying to save you money, but I can't do it if you don't know the video's out, so hit the bell. Alright, now on to the negatives. So the first negative for me was the price tag. I saw it and thought to myself, $30 for a simple little game like this? Like, it had best have a lot of good shit then. But when I got into the game, I noticed a distinct lack of good shit. When I look at a game like this and a price tag like that, I'm expecting a whole lot more content. However, unfortunately, upon closer inspection, I realized this game was far too overpriced. To be blunt, it's worth $15 at most, not twice that. There's simply not enough content or depth or creativity or originality in any way, shape, or form to make this worth $27 frickin' dollars. Like, explain to me, game devs, what exactly in this game makes it worth so much money? Is it the amazing graphics? Obviously not. What about the voice acting? Nope, none of that here. The replayability? Nope, because there's no choices to make, it's just a linear path. Nope. The ingenuity or originality? Again, nope, because it doesn't have either of those things, or it isn't using one of those things the best, or it just doesn't have any of those things that I've mentioned previously. So no, it's definitely not worth that much money in any way. Next up for the negatives is the gameplay and the tutorial. I combine these two together because the only real thing I can say about the tutorial is that it's shit. Like, it's so hard to explain it. It just doesn't teach you anything. I think it's a tutorial. I'm not even sure if it is a tutorial. But there's, like, not enough information, and they are far more interested in delivering cringy dialogue than actually learning game mechanics and learning about the game. And it puts you in impossible missions for a damn tutorial. As for the gameplay, well, it had a good idea, I guess, just executed very poorly. For instance, the tutorial says that if you capture cities, they'll generate income for you so that you can finance and purchase more vehicles or whatever you need for battle, but you don't. In the first 4 battles, I didn't accumulate a single dollar to spend on more units, despite me owning half the buildings on the map. The gameplay itself, now I don't know if that's a design or a bug, and that was part of what I was mentioning earlier. But the gameplay itself is pretty basic as well. Like, if you take out the broken economy part, use these units to counter these units, attack first and hide in bushes. I mean, if anyone's ever played Fire Emblem games, they have a good idea of what the gameplay is like, because it's pretty much exactly that. It's not anything to write home about, just standard gameplay. It's like the most basic, bare bones gameplay I can think of. But what really grinds my gears and what really got me to rage quit was the absolute bullcrap imbalancing issue. What you're seeing right now is one of the tutorial missions. I think it's like mission number 4. Still new to the game, and look at this shit. I'm blue, by the way. I'm the blue guys. The enemy is the green guys. Are my units stronger than theirs? Nope. Can I make more? Nope. Is the game on easy? Yes. This mission is actually legitimately impossible. No matter how I come at it, I can't win because the enemy simply builds more units and then has story-based reinforcements on top of that. I cannot build more units, cannot repair my units, cannot get reinforcements at all. I'm completely outnumbered, and since our units have the exact same stats, it all comes down to numbers, and they've got me outnumbered 3-1, so I lose over and over again. Here is another attempt. This is probably my 5th or 6th try, and you see all that green? Yeah, that's the enemy. I'm still blue. Same mission. So there is a massive balancing issue with the game, or the game's just severely broken. Oh, and I'm still playing on easy, by the way, and I grew up playing games like these. I love games like these, as long as the writing is good. You know, I don't care so much about the gameplay, but if the writing is really good, then I can excuse bad or boring gameplay. And I can tell you, from 20 years experience, this is some actual bullshit. You think it's a skill issue? Then I dare you to try it, and then I'll be expecting your apology. I have tried legit every strat I could think of and lost a dozen times on this one mission because, simply put, the game is completely imbalanced or broken. And every mission was like this. But unlike this mission, on those ones, a different strat would eventually work, or I could figure out what was wrong and barely slink by. But here, it's just impossible without reinforcements or money to build more troops. Needless to say, it pissed me off quite a bit when I realized how impossible it was. Other than that, the little animations you get for each battle get really old, really fast, and you end up skipping them mostly. It's not innovative, it's not fun, it isn't even really all that addicting. Honestly, overall, the gameplay was just severely lacking. Perhaps if the money worked and I could actually buy more troops, or if I could customize my troops, or if I could choose my own general, or choose my own path, or something, then maybe. But we're talking the most basic, bitch, bare bones gameplay I've seen in a very long time. And when you're using pixelated graphics like this, that's simply inexcusable. You have no excuse for why you couldn't have given us more content in this game. There's just nothing here. Just move your troops, kill enemy troops, read some cringy dialogue, rinse and repeat. But maybe on the next map you'll have one new type of troop. Like, ooh, boring. Next up for the gameplay is the writing and the originality. There's absolutely nothing original about this game. Hell, I'm pretty sure I've actually reviewed a game almost exactly like this in the past. In fact, yeah, I have actually. It's called Empire Shall Fall. Legit. Just type this into Steam. Empire Shall Fall, and you're going to find it. Now, that game is exactly like this, but it's actually good. And guess what? It's half the price. I did do a review on it too, and I will link my video in the description in case you wanted to check it out. So this game isn't original at all. As for the writing, it's pretty bad. I have no idea what planet I'm on, no idea what faction I work for, no idea who I'm fighting for, who I'm fighting, or why, no motivation, and if that wasn't bad enough, the overall writing quality itself was just cringy, as I've mentioned. It's just, I don't care. I just don't care. Like, and I love how in this particular mission, the one I've showed you twice where I'm getting my ass kicked, like the character you're playing as, I think her name is Anna or Ava or whatever, because you don't get to choose the commander you get, like the Steam store page says. No, they made me play as her. But she's acting like she's some big badass, like I'm going to kick this guy, this other chick's ass, and blah, 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 blah. And she just loses over and over and over again. Like, why? Why do you think you're in what realm do you think you're such a badass? You're losing. Shut up. And as for the last negative, it's the stability. That's right, it's in the pros and the cons. But it's in the cons because it references stuff that I had to discover online since I didn't have the ability to check it out. But there are a lot of people out there complaining about the multiplayer either being broken, unavailable, or just straight up non-existent, despite the fact that it's supposed to be there and advertised as being there. As well as the game not having optimized controls and not working on the Steam Deck. So keep that in mind as you progress. So, here's the thing. I don't think I need to go any further. I don't think I need to talk about this anymore, and I don't want to talk about this anymore. I think it's pretty obvious that this game is a piece of shit. Obviously, don't buy it. I don't recommend it. Run far, far away from it, and if the style and the idea interests you, then instead of this game, I highly encourage you to go check out Empire Shall Fall. It's not like the best game ever, but it's actually better than this and half the price. So, go get that one, avoid this one. Alright? Alright, so that's all the time I got for this piece of shit game and for this video. Thanks so much for watching, with a special thanks to those of you who stuck around to the end. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you all again on my next adventure. So until then, I bid you all farewell.